Hello, my name is Brian Heimbach, and I am the head of the theater program at Lane Community College. And this video is to tell you all about an exciting opportunity that I would like to share with you, a transfer agreement between our school and the University of Wales in Carmarthen, Wales. I realize there are different people who might be watching this video. There are many of you who have been part of the theater program and taken quite a few acting classes, or so you may already know who I am, but there may be some people who are not current Lane students or are trying to figure out where they're going to go to college. So this video is intended for anyone who would like some information, a little bit of information about the theater program at Lane, but most importantly, the focus of this video is our transfer agreement, or you will often hear it referred to as an articulation agreement with the University of Wales in Trinity St. David, which is in Carmarthen. So the way it works is, in a nutshell, you come to Lane and you earn your associate's degree, either your Associates of General Studies or your Associates of Arts Oregon Transfer degree. And while you are earning your degree, you take all the acting classes, and then you transfer to Wales and you do your final year at Wales, at the University of Wales, and then you have your associate's degree. This video is just a quick introduction to the program and generally how things work. I hope to spark your interest, and I hope to encourage you to come and talk to me and possibly talk to our arts advisor about this program. For example, I'm not going to go into any detail about what exactly is required for your AGS, the Associates of General Studies, or your AAOT, the Associates of Arts Oregon Transfer, because that information is easy to find on Lane's website, or you can come talk to me or the arts advisor about it. If you decide you want to do this, I will work very closely with you on advising, and we will figure out exactly what you need to take every term. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details about those degrees right now, except to say that the Associates of General Studies is a degree that gives you more freedom in what you choose to take. There are less general education requirements, which will allow you to take more theater classes as you get your degree. The Associates of Arts Oregon Transfer is designed to seamlessly transfer into a four-year school within the state of Oregon. That means that once you earn your AAOT, you can transfer to any school in the state, and your gen ed classes are done. It's not a one-to-one, check off this math for that math, this science for that science. If you have your AAOT, your gen ed is done. There are a few schools that might make you take a couple more courses, but basically if you get your AAOT, you transfer to a school within the state of Oregon, your gen ed is finished and you focus just on your major. The University of Wales, Trinity St. David, actually prefers that you get the Associates of General Studies, because that means that you are able to take every single acting class that Lane offers. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I would love to talk to you more about it in person. So we'll just leave it at that. So let's talk about the program in Wales and how things work. So basically, here's their website. This last one was their website. I encourage you to go to this website, UWTSD.ac.uk, and scroll around, see what all is there. This is the website as it looks right now as I'm making this video. It may change. There's a lot of information on the about. Even on this main page here, if you just scroll down, there is a lot of good stuff down here at the bottom. This Why Choose UWTSD has some interesting information. So it's useful. They just recently redesigned their web page. So spend some time looking around it. When you go to the info specifically about the acting program, it lays things out on how it works. So let me just address this question now. Who would do this program? Who would come to Lane and basically major in acting and then transfer to Wales? Obviously, if you want to be a professional actor, this program is perfect for you. Let me just go ahead and add right now that if I had had the opportunity to do this when I was a student, I would have done it in a skinny minute. There's nothing you would have kept me from doing this program. Just to throw out a couple things out there, and I probably should have put some graphics on the screen to reinforce this. Basically, if you go to school full-time and probably do some summer school, you will be able to get your bachelor's degree in 3 years, as opposed to 4. Now, I say you will be able to get your degree in 3 years because that's the way it's laid out. Many people come to Lane and take more than 2 years to get their associate's degree. That's very common. It is possible that, especially if you don't have to work an outside job and depending on your personal circumstances, it's very possible for you to get your associates in 2 years and then transfer to UWTSD and finish your last year there. However, not everyone does that, and that's fine. I know personally it took me 5.5 years to get my undergrad. So the design of the program is for you to be at Lane for a couple years to get your associate's degree and then transfer there and finish there in 1 year. Now I keep saying transfer to University of Wales. It's not that easy. It does require an audition and an interview process, and it also requires a personal and professional recommendation from me, because I will have spent a great deal of time with you and working with you by the time you're ready to go there. I went to Wales to see the campus and talk to the faculty, and I met and talked with many of the students. Carmarthen is about a 4.5-hour train ride, practically due east from London. It's close to Cardiff. It's about an hour train ride from Cardiff, Cardiff being the biggest city in Wales. I think it's the capital. I'm not going to pretend like I know that much about geography, but pretty darn sure it's the capital. Spent a couple days in Cardiff. It's a beautiful city. And Carmarthen is a beautiful city too. I'm not going to take the time to flip through pictures because it's easy enough to find. If you just simply Google images of Carmarthen, Wales, yes, you will be blown away. It is a very beautiful place. Carmarthen is a very small city, but it still has a castle. I think that's awesome. But quite honestly, it could be on the moon, because while you were there, you're just going to be studying and in rehearsal the whole time. The way things work is, the way their program works is you have to audition to get into their program from the beginning. Please don't ask me to explain the British higher education system. What they call, let me see if I can find it. The acting BA, a practical course training. We refer to a class as a course. Their whole program is called a course. So they would say, like, what course are you studying? You would say acting. In the UK, university is 3 years. To be brutally honest, it's because their equivalent of their K through 12 system is so much stronger than ours that you basically graduate from their version of high school with an associate's degree, because all their general ed stuff, like all the science and math and language and all that kind of stuff that you take in the first couple of years of a college degree, they get that in high school. So by the time they're ready to go to university, they're ready to focus, they just take their major. So when you go to their website and you click on modules, when this thing expands, you'll see what they do each year. So this is a year. A level 4 is the first year of university, level 5 is the second year, and level 6 is the third year of university. So this is what they do. These are all courses, what we would call a course or a class. So they do all these things in the calendar year, regular academic calendar, August, or more like September through May, June. Their calendars more on the East Coast, college and university, which are on semesters, as opposed to the quarters that we're on here. And then in your second year, you do all these other things, which you can read and see. And then, more importantly for the transfers, level 6 is what you would do if you go there as a third year. Let me just add in really quickly. It is possible for you to transfer in as a second year. It would still require an audition. That would be for students who feel like they need more training, who feel like they're not really ready to go into a third year. For example, there are some students who have been at Lane for a while, and then they took a break, and then now they want to finish their degree, and they're not coming directly out of coursework and going directly there. So again, this video is just to start the conversation. I hope you come and talk to me about these different options. But transferring it as a second year is an option. Let me just add here, even if you transferred in there as a second year, even if you still did 2 years at Lane and 2 years at UWTSD, it would still be considerably less than going to the U of O. I mean, I'm not targeting the U of O and saying, oh, they're horrible, they're expensive, although they kind of are. They're not horrible, they're expensive. I haven't done the math right now, and it would be pointless for me to do it anyway because it changes year to year. But basically the way the math in general works, if you were to do 2 years at Lane and 1 year at the University of Wales, you would be paying less than half of what it would cost you to take 4 years at the U of O. If you did 2 years at Lane and 2 years at University of Wales, it would still be less than 2/3. Am I doing the math right? I can't remember. If you want to know the math, come talk to me. I know that 4 years total is it might even be 3 years is less than half. 3 years is definitely less than half at U of O. 4 years is still considerably less. And there are many reasons for that, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. The third year, these are different modules, courses, whatever, but they're basically shows. The way the program works is in the first 2 years, you're doing all coursework. You are not allowed to be in any shows that the school does, because that way the third year, you're doing all shows. The touring theater, that is a devised piece that you tour around schools, around the area, around Carmarthen. A site-specific studio piece, that's a smaller, maybe a black box kind of piece. A main in-house performance is a show on their big stage. And performance industry, I am almost sure, if I remember this correctly, this is a showcase for agents and professional opportunities in Wales. So the third year there, it is all you're not taking courses. It's not specific training. It is all production oriented. Their philosophy is that you don't get to do shows until you learn how to do shows. This is very common in the UK. In the US, it's all about doing shows. In high school, you do a show. In college, you hit the ground running. I would love to require people to finish my program and study before they can audition for a show, but that's just not a practical reality. So that's how the program works. 2 years at Lane, or I should say get your associate's degree at Lane, and then you transfer there, and then you audition and interview, and if you get in, you do you do a bunch of shows. Now, there are, so looking at this, especially this one, it prompts my memory, the performance industry. A big part of me, at first, when the head of international programs at Lane came to me and said, hey, I have this opportunity, what do you think about it? Of course I thought it was a great idea, but a big part of me was like, what about professional actors? And I realize I've gotten off track, because this program is not just for people who want to be professional actors. But this performance industry aspect of the third year is very much about making professional connections with the theater, professional theater world in Wales. And part of me was like, well, what's that gonna do for my students? Are they gonna be able to, because you can only stay there for like a year, you know, or are they gonna have to marry somebody to stay there and work professionally? Well, another part of me was like, well, you know, when they graduate from a 4-year school in Oregon, do they really have any professional contacts? Really? So it's just this is just a great opportunity. So let me back up a little bit. I know I'm sort of stream of consciousness here. If you're one of my current students, you're used to it. So check this out, the assessment, how you're graded. Basically, all I'm saying is scour their website. Lots of really good information. So who is this program for? Yes, professional actors, of course. It gives you your degree in a shorter amount of time. You save a ton of money. And let me just take a moment and go on a little bit of a tangent about how important it is to graduate with less student debt. You are going to have to take out some student loans to get your degree. That is, I've imagined that every single person who's listening to this is going to be the case. Unless you've got a GI Bill, unless you've got rich parents or whatever. The less student loan debt the less debt, period, that you can graduate with, the more opportunities you're going to have to actually do what you want to do. You don't have to get a job at Starbucks just to pay your student loans every month. So this is not rocket science, this is common sense, but it's something that many students don't think about until it comes time to start paying the money back. This program gives you training as good as you're going to get anywhere, depending on how much work you're willing to put into it, and you're going to graduate with far less debt than you would by starting as a freshman, especially at a 4-year school, or even transferring to a 4-year school after you finish Lane. So other people who might not want to be professional actors, if you want to be a theater educator, you are going to learn so much about theater. Even if theater is not your chosen profession, international study looks really good on a resume. Employers just respect the heck out of studying abroad. Now, I am not going to pretend that this degree is for everybody, because it's not. I would highly recommend anyone who wants to go into the theater profession or act professionally in film and television, as well as theater. This is definitely for you. If you are interested in film and television, you are going to get your acting degree through a theater program. There are no acting programs that focus just on acting for film and television. You learn how to act for the stage, and then you get your professional work for camera. And if you're lucky, you get to take a couple of acting for camera classes. Even if you want to act in film and television, this should be an excellent program for you too. And obviously theater education, this is a great opportunity, especially if you want to go on to teach acting at the college or university level. You're going to have to get a graduate degree, either an MFA or a BFA. Either MFA or a PhD, and this program would prepare you very well for an MFA. If you're going to get a PhD, you have to get a master's degree in between that, and this would prepare you for that. So if you want to pursue theater as your profession in any way, shape, or form, this would be an excellent experience for you. If you are not completely sure that you have what it takes to commit yourself completely to the theater, then this will be an excellent opportunity also. And at the end of the day, you still get a bachelor's degree. And let me just reinforce how important that is. Having lived through this COVID virus thing, all the people who suffered the most were the people who did not have college degrees. There's statistical proof that for every degree you have, the more secure your job was through this crisis. There's also statistical information that proves that basically for every college degree you have, you earn about $1 million more within your lifetime. So just, and the beautiful thing about this program is you get your degree while you're doing it. It is a Bachelor of Arts, not a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I don't even know if they do BFAs in the UK, but so yeah, so that's what this program is all about. There is another video that I've made that is just me basically giving you my show and tell of pictures that I took while I was in Carmarthen. So if you've found access to this one at the same spot, I'm sure you will go and find access to that one. I just want to reinforce that when I was there, I was so very comforted by being there. Their approach to actor training is the same approach that I take with my students. The students adore their faculty. I sat down and had a half an hour discussion with the students who were in the third year without the faculty there, so they could be very honest. And all of them said that they chose this school because the faculty are so nurturing and so supportive. Many of them got into other drama schools in the UK and chose to go to school in Carmarthen, even though many of them got into drama schools in London and chose to go way out to Carmarthen to study because they felt like they would get more attention from their faculty. The school, UWTSD, has been doing this program for a while. They have a transfer or articulation agreement with community colleges in Canada. And when I was there, I actually talked to one of the students that was a Canadian transfer. She was in the third year. The third year students that started at UWTSD from the beginning said that they love to have third years come in to give them, you know, some new people to work with and to talk with and make friends with. I'm not going to lie, it is the process is not going to be easy. Applying to the school and getting your student visa and dealing with the financial situation is going to be a big fat pain in the butt. Being there is going to be a challenge. You're going to be completely removed from all your friends and family. There may be times when you're lonely. I think there's a sort of syndrome that, you know, like once you're there for a month, you start asking yourself, why am I doing this? But then you settle in and you make new friends. And we all know that being part of a theater group, you have pretty much immediate family. So yeah, I cannot say enough about what an exciting opportunity and how I am so grateful that I can offer this to my students. But I do want to let you know that it is a lot of work. Just the application, the red tape process of getting there is going to be a big pain. And I will be there to help you every step of the way. International programs at Lane will help you, but most of the help is going to have to come from UWTSD because they're the ones who have to verify that you are coming there so you can get the student visa and what have you. So yeah, I think that is just about all I have to say. Please contact me and I will talk to you about this for as long as you want because this thing makes me so happy. I would love to send many students there. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. See ya.